for today's topic, we are going to learn about the role of our muscles, ligaments, tendons, and joints in our movement. Movement. It is brought by the contraction and relaxation of skeleton. So when we say contraction, it makes our muscles become smaller like this. So this is contraction, and then this one's relaxation. Relaxation, it means the return of the muscles in a normal state. Again, contraction becomes smaller, relaxation, return into a normal state. Contract, relax. Contract, relax. Okay, so each pair of muscles working in opposition. When we say opposition, it means against each other. It is called antagonistic muscles. So we have here what we call in our arms, we have this what we call biceps and triceps. Bi means two, tri means three. So the biceps and the triceps of the arms is an example of antagonistic pair of muscles. So for example here, so this one is the triceps, meaning having three heads or points of origin. Then we have this what we call biceps having two heads or 2 points of origin. So for example, here as you can see that the triceps is contracts or becomes smaller. The muscles become smaller because there is force acting on it, and the biceps is in the relaxing mode. Okay, so this is what we call antagonist and agonist. Then the same here. So what happens here, the biceps contracts or the muscles become smaller, so there is force is being done here, and then the triceps is in a relaxing mode. Okay, so this is what we call antagonistic muscles. Okay, this one is relaxing and contracting. So our skeleton muscles are voluntary muscles. When we say voluntary, it means acting of one's own free will. So we have free will to move or not to move our muscles. Tendons. Skeletal muscles attach to bones by tendons. So for example, this is the skeletal muscle here, and the muscle that attaches to bones is called the tendon. So this one is the tendon. Again, the skeletal muscles attaches to bones by tendons. A tendon is a flexible meaning it can be stretched, but inelastic meaning slow to react or respond to changing condition. Inelastic cord or strong fibrous collagen tissue attaching a muscle of a bone or to a bone. Again, tendon is a muscle attached to the bones. Okay, this one, muscles attached to the bones. Okay, so how do you define ligaments? So ligaments at the joint, the bones are held together by ligaments. Ligaments are strong, flexible, and elastic, meaning stretchable. Elastic connective tissues. Ligaments allow movement of bones at the joint and ensure no dislocation of bones during movement. So again, if it's bone to bone like this, one bone attached to another bone by ligament. Okay, so the attachment of bone to bone is called ligament, but the attachment of skeletal muscles to bone is called tendon. Muscle to bone is tendon. Bone to bone is ligament. Muscle to bone is called tendon. Next, we have joint. It is a place where two or more bones meet. Different kinds of joints permit movements in different planes. Some joints do not allow movement, such as immovable sutures of the skull. Okay, our skull is immovable. Okay, but the pivot joint, okay, this one, pivot joints is here. Okay, it's allow us to move, but it's limited. Okay, you cannot turn around. Okay, you cannot move your head around, only side by side. Some joints are movable. Movable meaning unable to move. Okay, such as a hinge joint at the elbow and the ball and socket joint at the shoulder. Okay, so this is our shoulder here. So we have here the ball and the socket. So this one is movable. You can turn this round. And also our hinge joint at the elbow. So this is our hinge joint. So it's movable joints. So when we say joints, it is where two or more bones meet. So some joints are movable and some are immovable. Immovable meaning cannot move, like our skull or our cranium. Some joints are movable, meaning you're able to move it. We have our hinge, this one, our ball and socket found in our shoulder, then our pivot joints, okay, between our neck and the skull, and our wrist, okay, so you can glide your wrist. So these are examples of movable and immovable joints. Okay, so before we have our review today, let me remind you that I prepared a short quiz and I attached it in your Google Class or in your Google Classroom. So kindly answer right after our discussion today.
Ligament basics.
Very simply, ligaments are around to hold our bones together. It's all part of this thing we like to call the musculoskeletal system. Now, people sometimes confuse tendons with ligaments, and while they have some similarities, tendons attach muscle to bone, and ligaments attach bone to bone. Now, if you look at any joint, you'll find a whole array of ligaments functioning to stabilize and limit the movement of the bones within. Take the knee, for instance. You have the femur here, and then the tibia and fibula. On top of that, you have your kneecap or patella. Now remember, ligaments connect bone to bone, and in the knee, let's show these four major stabilizing ligaments. This is your ACL. Here's your PCL, here is the MCL, and here is the LCL. Now, if you've ever tweaked your knee ligaments or any other ligament in your body, say sprained an ankle, then you'll probably want to know what you can do to strengthen and heal them. Unfortunately for us, torn ligaments are not like broken bones. They won't just reattach themselves and heal. Here's the basics. Ligaments are composed mostly of long, stringy collagen fibers that create bands of tough, fibrous connective tissue. Ligaments themselves are slightly elastic, so they can be stretched and gradually lengthen, increasing flexibility. But if stretched beyond a certain point, ligaments can become overstretched and compromise the integrity of the joint they're supposed to be stabilizing. So, stretch with caution. And as a little tidbit, the term double-jointed actually refers to people who have highly elastic ligaments, which allow them to move their joints into more extreme positions than most people. Now, if you did injure a ligament, you might as well go to the doctor. Trained orthopedic docs are usually the best at diagnosing these injuries. Work with them and the physical therapy staff to find a rehab routine that suits your needs. And you're doing that to get back on top of things as quickly as possible. Thanks for watching. This video was done in tandem with this ACL video that we did with Dr. Pat Connor from Ortho Carolina, who happens to also be the head doc for the Carolina Panthers. Check that out right here, and remember to subscribe for more Sportology videos.
So that's all for today. Thank you so much.